Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Pro Wrestling y Combat Sports en el mundo. Mi invitado especial en la tarde, noche o mañana de hoy, dependiendo de donde usted esté viendo esto. 10 años de experiencia en la industria de la lucha libre, uno de los mejores anunciadores en el circuito independiente y actualmente la voz de LAWE, Joshua Flores. If you can come here, llega por primera vez a Lucha Libre Online. Joshua,
gracias.
It is an honor to have you as our guest. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing wonderful. It's an honor. Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot to be able to speak to you and just be able to speak to all of the fans of Lucha Libre here in Puerto Rico and all over Latin America.
So how did your career start? Basically everyone, got hooked inside the wrestling industry by a wrestler or a talent. However, what you're doing is completely different. You're a voice of a brand. So what and who hooked you up enough so you could do this for 10 years?
Well, originally I started off as a vocalist singing for rock bands in the state of Florida. Somebody noticed me and really liked my voice, liked the way I interacted with the crowd and with the fans, and they asked me if I'd be interested in doing ring announcing. Fast forward 10 years, I am working with Magic City Wrestling Federation in Miami, Florida. The Colons, Orlando was there and he recognized my voice and he really liked what I had to offer. And so they wanted to go ahead and bring me on here as the voice of Latin American Wrestling Entertainment. And we're 6 months in and I'm loving every minute of it.
So the debut of this brand was in Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. It was last year. It was crowded, but the fans were really loud. And you were basically the first person that stepped in the ring and present the brand to everyone by naming and stating which was going to be the first match. What do you recall of that moment, the debut night of LAWE, and how special was for you inside this 10-plus year career you've had?
Oh my goodness. The very initial moment when I stepped out, and from the moment I said, Buenas noches, Puerto Rico, just the feeling, the passion that the fans have for Lucha Libre here in Puerto Rico and just all over Latin America was just an unreal feeling. Just the wave of emotion that came over me as I opened up the show for Orígenes was absolutely amazing.
So I've seen obviously your style. It's not what we've seen in wrestling. However, you have certain vibes of what Bruce Buffer is doing in the UFC. The suit and tie, everything looks perfect. The talks, the energy when you get inside the ring. Is there someone special, maybe the same Bruce Buffer, that inspired you and your style today?
I would say there, of course, both Bruce and Michael Buffer are definitely influences to anybody who does announcing. There's also, The Fink. There's also Mean Gene Okerlund. There's also Jerry Lawler, JR. All of the greats. It's just all about and then, you take that style and then my rock and roll background. I like to make sure that things are hype, things are energetic, that the fans are getting the show that they deserve and have that energy. So that way the wrestlers, the luchadors look as good as possible and you're just excited to see them when they come out. So I try to make sure that everything is as high energy as possible.
What's different from LAWE compared to the rest of the wrestling industry we work with? The United States circuit. Puerto Rico obviously is different, but what you're seeing in LAWE that makes it different?
With most of everything that I've done, I've worked a lot in the independent circuit of professional wrestling. I've worked all over the state of Florida with many different independent promotions. And what you have here at Latin American Wrestling Entertainment is you have a full production. You have a show that could rival shows like WWE, AEW, New Japan, any of the big name companies. LAWE is going to be right up there with them. The show that we put on and the entertainment and the experience that we provide for our fans is a notch above anyone else in the independent circuit.
Joshua, I will leave you alone in the camera. You can have your last words, but if possible, I want you to present yourself to the Latin American audience in the way you do it. Let's give them a random presentation at the style of Joshua Flores. For you to understand it, let me explain this in Spanish. Para que ustedes entiendan esto, este caballero es completamente distinto a lo que yo he visto en el mundo de los anunciadores. Así que él va a estar haciéndonos una presentación para que vean sus 10 años de experiencia y el toque distinto que va a traer Josh. The mic is yours and thank you for your time.
Gracias. Thank you so much for having me. Fanáticos, bienvenidos a Latin American Wrestling Entertainment. Mucho gusto Me llamo Josué Flores. Thank you so much for being here. Please follow me on all of your social media outlets, J Flores Voice. And now, here we go. Latin American Wrestling Entertainment presents Adrenalina!